post on Facebook, that was about 2011. That's when I first posted on Facebook. And actually in 2011, that was the last time I was on Facebook. So I have not been serious on Facebook. And even at the time when the president, made directives to like cut off Facebook. But I know the expert is here. She's going to help me understand how I can get back or why possibly I left Facebook. Because for me, I found the platform not very serious. That is according to me. And since then, I've actually not gone back until when I discovered LinkedIn and then, WhatsApp, Instagram. Those are the current platforms where I feature. So as we get along, I will definitely hear from the expert what I could have missed and what could have affected me. Yeah, so Coach, can we start right away now? With your permission, I will have to proceed.
You're the driver, but let's start. Let's have let's engage through as others come through. Let's go on.
Okay, so as we start off, we request the audience, if you have any questions, if you have any inquiries you want to make, please kindly make use of the chat room. We should be able to pick your comments or your questions, and we will definitely read them out later. So be kind enough to send through your comments as we get along. So in last year, October, there was an analysis that was done by Kipios on social media users. And I can tell you that the report that was produced as of October 2024, it showed that social media users in the world are at a count of 5.2 billion. Those are the different social media users or identities. And that represents about 63% of the global population. But when you actually compute the population above 18, as in 18 years of age, the number of social media identities is about 86.3% of the world population. And when you actually annualize, the report was showing that there is an annual increment of 5.2%, which is about 256 million new users that get to join social media every year. These are quite interesting statistics that if you're actually on social media, you should be interested in. That shows you that every single second, there are about 8 new social media identities that are created. 8 new social media users actually join per second. And a typical user in a month visits about 7 different platforms. And when they actually computed how much time one spends on social media, it came to about 2 hours and 19 minutes in a day. That is a typical social media user. And we know in a day we have about 17 hours, about 18, considering someone sleeps about 7 to 8 hours. So when you compute 2 hours and 19 minutes a day used by the typical social media user, it amounts to about 14% of the working time per day. And that translates to about 12 billion hours per day, considering the 5.2 billion users that we have. Further, statistics actually showed that 46.3% of the 5.2 billion social media users are female. And that is 2 billion, that is 2.4 billion, while the males represent 53.7%, and that is 2.8 billion. Those are the males that are on social media. So to help us understand these statistics and, to actually tell us how these numbers can benefit anyone who is on social media, we are actually joined by a social media expert, and that is Justin Chanjo Chivumbi, who is looking at impacting over 1 million coaches, consultants, organizations, so that they create social media strategies that actually convert into sales. Justin has worked for a number of brands and has worked with a number of individuals, and that includes in Care Hair and Gadgets, Spicing Homes, JMS, Dida, Oil Therapy, and Z Stores, among others. And apparently, as a Christian, she attaches so much value, and she wants to tell us how we can actually leverage on this social media to grow professionally, career-wise, and also business-wise. Justin, you're most welcome. Another highlight is that Justin works with Just Virtual Creatives, and she's self-employed. So we'd like to hear from you, Justin, and just to welcome you. The first line you need to tell us, how do you connect Christianity and social media? And, tell us about your journey on social media. When did you begin? How did it feel? How is it feeling now? Yeah, so you're most welcome, Justin. Please, we have an audience here on Zoom and on YouTube. You're most welcome.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you, Remigio, and thank you, Coach Samuel, for inviting me here. Yes, so that's a very good question, because that's not where I actually started. In the beginning, I thought I would do it all by myself. But I think about 2 years ago, about 3 years ago, I diverted my strategy to fit, because God has to be in the picture. Yeah, so how does all this start? That is about 2016, about 7+ years ago, when I was doing insurance. I was doing insurance, so I just decided. I used to be on Mama Tendo a lot, and people would ask questions and I would be there to answer. So I was like, why am I spending so much time here doing a lot of nothing, yet I can actually do something crucial? I mean, I can actually benefit out of this constant commenting. And so I first wanted to do it as a social, as insurance. I first wanted to position myself as an insurance expert. But then along the way, because of the so many questions I would normally get asked, I diverted to social media. And to cut the long story short, I stopped working with the insurance company and stayed at home with the babies. So it was flexible for me to work online, help Ugandans. And I specifically settled for Ugandans. Yes.
All right, that's quite interesting, Justin.
Thank you.
Balancing family and social media, I find it quite interesting. Maybe you would want to tell us how you manage that, because I know when you're at home, the kids want to, grab your gadgets. They want to see what you're seeing. How do you manage that?
Oh, actually, my kids are a bit tech savvy as well. My son, I think mainly because of the lockdown, when some kids would normally study online. So as I speak now, he was the one telling his friends, guys, don't shout, mommy will be in a meeting. So I normally find a balance. I will choose to schedule all my posts sometimes, but not always, of course. I would choose to have to balance. I will be okay. There's nothing like balance. It has to work. They work together. So I'll be like, no, this is not time for my phone. I will use my phone in the morning. I'm not always scrolling. I avoid the scrolling because I have a strategy. I'm like, if I'm going online, I should go online to do ABCD. And then when I finish ABCD, I will go off. Definitely, it's not like I'm on gunpoint that's what you have to do. But I try to limit myself and give it a balance. However, there's no balance, but I just try my best. Yes.
Wow, that's interesting. I find a little bit of a challenge on my side. You know, whenever you're working, you're busy on your laptop, and you know you get a message on WhatsApp, you quickly want to run to your phone and confirm and check WhatsApp who has shared something. Yeah. So when you tell me that for you actually you have a schedule on when
Yes.
to visit social media, this is quite interesting.
And
And
I
we will
switched off.
definitely. Mhm.
Yes, I switched off all my notifications. I only go to a particular social media. That's it's my discipline. It's my personal discipline. I switched off all the notifications. I will go on WhatsApp only when I want to check WhatsApp. I don't want those constant notifications coming in because it's a bit distractive.
True. Wow. Thank you very much. And how is it going so far, especially at Just Creatives?
Just Virtual Creatives.
Yes,
That is the
Just
name I
Virtual
came up.
Creatives.
Yes, I came up with that name about 6 years ago when I actually took a course. I joined a community, something like this, just a normal community, and would always show up once a week to recap on what we are doing. So my coach told me then, they taught us how to come up with business names. So I came up with Just Virtual first, but then I wasn't able to register it, so I went for Just Virtual Creatives. And yeah.
Okay, so that is great. So today we are looking at a very interesting topic. And just like we are all here to grow professionally. We want to do business more. We want to have more sales. We want to generate more leads in terms of business. Some of us are, selling something out there. Then we want to create a brand online that if someone goes to, for example, LinkedIn, they want to check out this person. How is their brand? And so I know you have quite a lot that you want to share with us, and possibly you could start from there. How do we, get to use social media, leverage on social media to, grow professionally and career-wise, and also, generate more business leads? Thank you.
Sure. You're welcome. Can I please share my screen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yes, as you share your screen, audience listening in, kindly be sure to send in your questions, your comments, or your challenges that you would like the expert to talk about and to answer you generally. Be sure to share your challenges that you face while using social media. Be sure to share your take about social media and how has it impacted your sales, for example, those who are doing businesses. And how is it going in terms of your professional development? So be kind enough to use the chat room. We should be able to read out your comments.
I'm trying to figure this out. Just a minute. Okay.
Yep, so we want to appreciate Coach Samuel for this platform and for Transformational Professional Club. I am sure most of us have already enjoyed the fruits of this club, and we are definitely looking towards, achieving more and growing more in our professions. Coach Sam, we want to thank you very much for this initiative, and definitely it's impacting lives of many. So our audience on Zoom and our audience on YouTube, you're most welcome. Yeah, we are definitely going to hear from the expert, and that is the one and only Justin Chanjo. Yes.
I found it finally. Sorry.
Okay, it has come up. If possible, you could put it in a slideshow. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, so there was a small bug. There was something small that I wasn't seeing, but finally I figured it out. Thank you. Yes. So how do you leverage social media as a professional? Because so many times as a professional, you're either too busy, you're either, it's between work, home, work, home, work, home. So how do you fit in social media effectively? Because let's be honest, we all use social media. Even the professionals, even new professionals, we all use social media. Somehow you find yourself scrolling through someone's status, you find yourself viewing what you find yourself on Instagram with reels, with on people's stories. So how can you leverage social media meaningfully so that it impacts? So I don't have time is like a narrative, but it's mainly not because we don't have time. Yeah. So by the end of this presentation, I want us to have an increased confidence, because so many times we brush it off and we are like, I don't have time. It's mainly because we have some fears deep down there. Yeah. So maybe you need a clear strategy. By the end of this presentation, you will have a clear strategy, a clear, simple strategy that you can implement even with your busy schedule. Then we will do you will have an enhanced online presence. You will know what to do. When you know what to do, it's easier. Every time you go online, it will be for a purpose. It's okay to watch some videos, find some entertainment, but not to overly do it. Spend some time off for your own personal brand and your personal business. So let's go right ahead. So who is Justine? I've already introduced myself. I'm very techie. So This has already been done by Remigio, so I will just dig right in. So by the end of this presentation, by the end of this interaction, I want us to move from invisible to in demand. You've seen several accounts of people like Remigio. I'll give an example of Remigio himself. I'll give an example of Coach Samuel. There's Zawede. I've seen so many professionals killing it on social media. There's Eustace Aribariho, there's Waswa Moses, quite a number of them. There's Rita Cabanyoro, quite a number of people that really you can look out for, yeah? So, like we've already gone into the facts. Remigio started off with some of these facts that about 2.5 Facebook users in Uganda. We have about 2.5 million Facebook users in Uganda alone as of this was 2020, according to the Uganda Communications Commission. Eh? So if there are about 9.5%, if about 95% of recruiters are using LinkedIn to find people to find the right candidates, you should be among those candidates. I'll give an example of a few weeks ago. I mean, not a few weeks ago, last year, early last year, I was very intentional about finding remote opportunities. And every time I would go to apply for a remote opportunity, they would always ask for my LinkedIn. And to be honest, my LinkedIn I had last posted in I think so many years ago. My last post was it was a while ago. It's not that I didn't like the platform, it's just that I didn't find it the platform for me. Until that time when everyone was asking about it, oh, share your LinkedIn profile, share your LinkedIn profile, your LinkedIn profile. I'm like, what am I missing? What is on LinkedIn that I'm missing? Yep. So if that sounds like you, I would like to see a heads up, maybe a comment. Yeah. So LinkedIn is the place for you to be as a professional. So another fact, you'll find that so many people want to do business with the people they trust, people they know, and people they've liked. And how will they like you if you're not positioning yourself on social media to build a brand? You should be positioning yourself on social media to build a brand so that people like you, so that people trust you and people know you. And this one secret, I was looking at this thing the other day. You find that it's so hard to maybe get in touch with a CEO, a company leader, people like that, people in those high profiles. But did you know that you can reach those people on LinkedIn if you've set up yourself professionally very well? It's very easy to just send a DM and you're like, hello, how are you? Thank you so much for connecting. It was nice. Then you leave it at that. Yeah. Did you know that's very easy than making an appointment and then the secretary telling you, you'll come back in, he's busy, you will come back in 2 months. Yeah. So LinkedIn for professionals is the place to be. You may also advance to Twitter, but I would highly recommend a LinkedIn profile. There are a few people who will ask you, can you share your LinkedIn? I mean, can you share your Twitter profile? Definitely, it's okay for you to put it there, but your LinkedIn is like your professional online CV. Yep. Is there a heads up? Just let me know. So I have an ask. When was the last time you updated your social media profile? And your social media profile, I don't want you to complicate these things. Your social media profile is just, if maybe you don't have the time, you can, lately people have very good phones. You can get your phone and take a very beautiful photo. You place your phone somewhere or ask someone to take a photo in a portrait mode. Don't use the front camera, because the front camera takes a bit of, modifies it a bit in a not so interesting way. It's better to use the back camera. So you just ask someone to take a picture of you. Then you either crop that picture to fit like a headshot, or if you can professionally go and do it, that's very good. But on my side, most of the pictures that you see, I've been taken either by me or my children. Yeah. So you can I see a heads up? Kindly put some questions so we know where you are at. So what are those biggest fears that we normally have? Some of those biggest fears are, you are thinking maybe you don't have the time. I've had this so many times. Oh, Justine, me, I don't have the time for social media. I'm very busy. I leave work. But this is the same person that you will see scrolling on status and laughing, scrolling through. They'll be the ones to tell you about what Lisa Kusima has said on Instagram, but they don't have the time. Yes. So it's very crucial. So you'll see our biggest fears are, I don't know what to post. Yeah, maybe you're saying, oh, I don't know what to post. What do I post? Where do I even start? Yeah. So what will people think? So many questions. What will people think of me what will my mother think? What will my sisters say, or what will my siblings say? They might laugh at me. Oh, my brother-in-law is on the same platform. So those small fears. So you've probably tried it and did not get any results. Is that you? Kindly raise your hand or say what could be your biggest fear. Just put it down in the comments so we know what is your biggest fear. Then the biggest mistakes that we normally make. The biggest mistakes that we normally make are, we normally love scrolling randomly through posts, and by the end of the day, honestly, you find that you've either spent 30 minutes or an hour. Your lunch break, you scroll. It's better to use that time meaningfully, because as a professional, you have very limited time. You're either at work most of the time, in meetings, but that time that you have, maybe your early morning in your devotional time, you fix a little bit of, you create a schedule of a content plan that you can use. I will be showing you how to do that. Yeah. So most of the time you're in Kamoli. The biggest mistake is being in Kamoli on Coach Samuel. When Coach Samuel posts something, the best you will do is scroll through and not say anything. And remember, people are there. There are other people like you who are intentionally there just to see which professional is saying something that is valuable, and they keep an eye and they start liking you, you know. Kamoli is basically, if that's one of our Ugandan slang, it's basically viewing content, but in silence. You're viewing content but not saying anything. So normally you are a perfectionist. You'll spend like a whole week on one post. You'll send it to your friends, you send it to an editor, you move it from there. About 5 people have to approve your post. That's you're wasting time. You're wasting a lot of time instead of just posting. Yeah. So you fear being judged. The biggest mistake is you're so afraid of we are so afraid of being judged. Oh, what will people think? Yeah. And the biggest mistake is we put out random posts like, you've liked something somewhere, so you just because you liked it, so you repost it. It's not related to what you do. It's not, in other words, so you may think that people don't like what you're posting, and yet it is because of the content that you're putting forward. Yeah. So how can this impact your business? So what does this, how does this impact you? You find that you will waste a lot of time. You will come out with low self-esteem because you've been scrolling through all those Instagram posts and influencers are there doing their things and you're thinking, I can't be like that. Yes, definitely you that may not be your style, but there's something for you. But because you've been scrolling only through that kind of content, it derails your energy. So you find that you cannot create because, yeah, so you write off creating content. So what is the solution? The first solution is, if you don't have time, this is for you. If you're saying that, oh, Justine, oh, Remigio, me, I don't have time for social media, but you're always scrolling, this is for you. I want you to spend 15 minutes. Take 15 minutes. Engage in engagement. Comment on 3 posts. How do you do that? I wrote down something here that I wanted to read for you briefly. Those are just in 5 minutes. Remember? So it's like an engagement strategy for you professionals. So what I want you to do is search accounts of your ideal audience. For example, if I'm looking for maybe other professionals, if I'm looking for coaches, if I'm looking for people who want to be coaches, I'll go to Coach Joanne Mugenzi's page and I will follow her. I will comment on her posts because I'm targeting her audience. I'm targeting those people following her. They are my ideal audience too. Yeah. So follow your industry leaders. There are people in your industry who are leaders. Follow those ones. You can go through the search. LinkedIn has very interesting search results. So you can go through the search, even Facebook, wherever you want to be, Instagram. Yeah. You go through the search and find people to follow. Don't wait for them to follow you. Don't just leave a heart on their profiles. Go ahead and leave a meaningful comment. But that's not enough. LinkedIn is so powerful that it has something where the minute you view someone's profile, they'll be able to be notified that so and so has viewed. So that's a plus for you. That's a plus. So you go ahead, connect and follow them. You don't just stop at connecting, go ahead and follow. So find posts they have engaged on. Normally, when you're looking through someone's profile, they will show you those posts that they've engaged on. They will keep telling you, oh, so-and-so has engaged on this post. Go also and see what they've engaged on and engage on that post in 5 minutes. Remember, if you do this over and over again, it becomes a habit. It becomes a habit that becomes normal to you. So to maybe even Coach Samuel, Remigio, and to some of you, it may be very normal. You just wake up and you know, I have to do my engagement strategy and this is what I have to do. So 5 minutes, you post. What do you post? So we will go and talk about what to post. I hope that an engagement strategy, I would like to see maybe a thumbs up or something just to know that we are on the same page. So connect with them. Yes, so that's the first solution. Then I have an ask. This one here. I have an ask. Sorry. Yes, I want you to spare 15 minutes a day for your career growth on social media. Just spare 15 minutes. Yes. Spare just 5 minutes for your career growth. Is something. Yeah, so another solution. So maybe you're saying, oh, me, I have nothing to talk about, Justine, leave me alone. Or social media, I have nothing to talk about. But you're always scrolling. Look through what other people are talking about and engage on those topics. if you find something in line with what you do, maybe that is like a content strategy. It's a huge strategy that I normally go through with my clients, but I will briefly break it down so that to give you a picture of what it entails. Yes, so I want us to go through this 3-post formula. You need to post smart. If you have an idea and you want to share with your audience, you can talk about your lessons learned. You have so many lessons learned. You've learned so many lessons and they're all in your head. So why not put them down on paper? You don't need to write all the time. You may be maybe moving and you may be seated somewhere and an idea comes up and an idea pops up. That's the Holy Spirit speaking. Just pick your phone and go to your notebook on your phone and then quickly write it down. That is how I come up with some posts. So you write down your lessons learned. Those will be some of the topics that people will want to see. People want to see value. Give value. Highlight some of the things that you've encountered along your journey so that you share with your audience. Those are the things people want to hear. Then milestones you hit. Oh, this one is one of the LinkedIn's top engaged posts. When you share a milestone, if you're looking for how to bring yourself up on Instagram, share a milestone. Share a story of how you got your job or how you started. Things like that. Very simple stories. And then put an image. Boom. You'll see how much people will be interested in that kind of post. And then LinkedIn or any other social media platform, Instagram, will push that post. Yeah. So I have one more ask. If this is something that you plan to do, write down 3 content ideas, yeah, that you will post this week and share with us in the chat. I would be happy to see those. Then the third solution is what will people think? What will my mother-in-law think? Oh, my sister will kunjeriga. My sister will be like, it is you posting. What are you talking about? You know how that feels like. It makes you feel like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this anyway. So you go ahead and do this. Focus on your ideal audience. Yeah. What you do is you focus on those people. Your ideal audience is the people whose needs that you want to meet. I want you to spend some time and write those things down. Write what you can, write some of the topics that you are interested in doing and basing on what you do. Basing on what you do and what you love to do, because that comes so easy. Yeah. Then you share the lessons learned, you share milestones. Yeah. Okay. So focus on your ideal audience. You don't need to complicate it. You don't need to complicate it. Focus on your ideal audience. What is the worst thing that they can do? Is either to say no. Yeah. So I have an ask. What's the worst thing that could happen? Yeah. What is the worst thing that could happen? People will either say, oh, I saw you on LinkedIn. And the best thing that will happen is you'll see that you get attraction. You will start attracting opportunities. So choose your best. Choose where you want to be. So our last solution is which is a 3-step social media strategy for busy professionals. This one may look a bit complicated, but it is the easiest thing that you can do. The other day I was looking at a profile and someone's photo was not straight. It was like this. I was wondering if I probably think they hadn't checked in a while. Maybe they've not checked their profile in a while, So be intentional. Be very intentional. So I will read this out for you. How do you optimize your profile? The 3-step social media strategy. You optimize your profile for so that when someone sees your CV, that is like your online CV. That is like your online CV. When someone sees it like this, they should be able to go like, let me go from the bio to the about. Then they'll go ahead and see what they'll keep going ahead to see. Yeah, so I don't see where I wrote that, but you need to optimize your bio. Your bio is like, don't just talk about, don't just post your qualifications. I think that is now that is getting outdated. People do not want to see qualifications anymore. They want to see what you can do for them. They want to see qualifications, yes, but break them down into what that need that you solve, that thing that you do. I help, or I'm a social media strategist. I am a social media expert who does A, B, C, D for. You mention who you do it for, rather than just saying I have MCCP, KCBC, those terms on social media. I mean on MCIBKL, on professionals, how professionals bring out their profiles, MMK, PhD in. People don't want to see that anymore. They want to see what you can do for them and how beneficial you will be to their eyes. And from there, you build the trust that they want to see. Take a professional photo, like I said. You may choose light colors in your professional and a background like this, or like what Remigio has. A professional photo. Don't do a selfie when your head is the only thing that is showing. Just like a portrait, headshot. A headshot, I think, comes just a little lower than a passport photo. And with a headshot, you can smile. Yeah. Yeah, so optimize. Then there's LinkedIn has about, I've used PowerPoint, so I wasn't able to fill in my links. My Canva had links to show you exactly what I was talking about. Okay. Yeah, but I will leave for you some profiles that you can go ahead and just go through and see how they've set themselves up. That is how I've been able to do my own profile. You look at what other people are doing. Don't be afraid and learn. You look, there's a banner. People will always have a banner. Someone will have a banner. On LinkedIn, there's a picture and there's a long banner. In that banner, find, if you cannot do it yourself, maybe in Canva, because you may not have the time, find someone to do it for you, maybe at a small fee, or Canva it yourself. Then the most important thing for you professionals is networking online. And how do you network? That was the engagement strategy I shared earlier. I don't know if you noted it down, just a heads up so we know. The engagement strategy helps you follow up. It helps you network intentionally. You start your day with like, I want 3 new people. I'm going to follow 4 new people today. And what should they have? Why should I follow them? I want to follow maybe an industry leader, maybe a CEO, because that CEO may be something. There should be a reason. Don't just randomly. Then network, go out there and network, join meetings such as this. This is very good because it builds community. When you network, you're able to enter people's communities and you're able to stay on people's minds. And then you stay in touch on social media. Don't ignore comments. If someone has left a comment on another comment, on someone's comment, just go ahead and maybe interact in the comment. There's nothing that builds relationships than that, whether on Instagram, whether on LinkedIn, Facebook, if you use Facebook. Yeah, only that now we need a bit of VPN, but if you have Wi-Fi, you don't need VPN. You can use Facebook without VPN and just set up your profile, set up your personal profile on Facebook. Then also you need to post the right content consistently. You may think of 2 to 3 posting. You think of 2 to 3 days a week, meaning if you post 2 to 3 days a week, you will have about, let me say, three posts each week. That is 12 posts a month, right? I'm counting. Yes, 12 posts a month. That's enough data for you to be like, to check your analytics and you're like, oh, yes, I have 12 posts. People like this one. But if you have only 1 post a week, if you have only 1 post in 10 weeks, you have no data. And you may think people don't like what you're posting, and yet it is because you are not posting. People like what you're talking about, but people will like what you're talking about. And there's a way social media builds trust. People build trust if you consistently post. Somehow you will meet people and feel like you've met them before. Like how I met Remigio, you may think I've known him. I met Coach Samuel and it felt like I met him before. It's because of the power of social media. Social media is such a powerful tool for your business. So if you have between 12 to 20 posts, you will have data. You'll have enough data to track and you will know that, oh, this post people didn't like, maybe because I've used this image. Then that will give you a way forward for your next content strategy. Yes, just a heads up to know if we are together. Then I have an ask. You'll forgive me, I have so many asks. Yeah. Are you ready to grow your professional network on social media? Can I see those hands? If you're ready to grow your professional network on social media, you need to start right. You need to start with other people's. Go to Samuel's page. Go to Samuel's page. Look through the comments and start noticing people who you can actually follow, and then comment on their posts, and then go ahead and view their profiles. LinkedIn will tell them, oh, so-and-so viewed their profile. Okay, let's say you're not on LinkedIn, you're on Instagram. They will tell them, you will, if you comment on their post, then you go ahead and like their what? You go ahead and and follow them. Instagram has follow. So you go ahead and follow them. This way you build real relationships that will last. And that is how you get to build relationships, and that is how you get to build a brand. But most importantly, you need to optimize your profile. Create your about, just like an online CV, you create your about, you don't need to start from scratch. Go through people's profiles and see what they've done, and then recreate that. Recreate or pick 1 or 2 leaves and then create your own. Yeah. So the result, you'll start attracting the right people. You'll become the go-to in your niche. People will be like, oh, you mean so-and-so. Oh, I've seen you on LinkedIn. Oh, you're applying here. Oh, actually, this lady, I've seen her on LinkedIn. You'll start earning from what you love to do. That's key. If you're looking at monetizing your social media, monetizing what you love to do, this is the place to start. Optimize your social media profiles. Yeah, so these are some of the tools that you may, I think. Oops. Okay, where was I? Okay. I need to go back to where I was.
Can you stop sharing and reshare again?
Yes, so that's a link that I think I embedded a link, but it's not, I don't know why it's not. It is basically some resources for you, how you can schedule, how you can, which apps you can use, just a few resources for, I think I will share this. Bio templates, just a few resources for you to look through and get ideas on where to get. Okay, let me stop and then start sharing again because I don't know where my page went. Okay. On results, not getting results. Done. Okay. Yeah, so I think I was almost done. I was done. I was actually done. The results, helpful resources. Yep. Yeah, so I think that's it. Thank you so much for listening.
Oh, thank you very much, Justin. A round of applause for Justin. You've been kind enough and you've shared quite a lot. Thank you very much. We really love the strategies and how we can actually make this work. And yes, the audience, please, your comments, your questions, clarifications you would want to make, and your takeaways that you would like to share with us. So I like the fact that Justin, you gave us a number of strategies that we can actually use to grow our professions, to grow, our numbers on LinkedIn. And you talked about the 15-minute strategy. The 15-minute strategy, commenting on 3 posts. You talked about the 3-post formula, where you post about the lessons learned, the milestones you hit, and then you definitely give value through giving the highlights. Then you talked about focusing on your audience, which I will definitely have to ask, how do you choose your audience? Or what do you base on to say, this is my audience, I want to speak to this audience? So we will request you to, talk about it. How do I identify my niche? How do I identify my audience so that I can communicate to them? Then, of course, what became so interesting is that you talked about consistency, and you said that consistency builds trust. So every day we do posts, but how consistent are we? And are we actually consistent in terms of the subject that we are talking about? Today, I may talk about politics. Tomorrow, I talk about economics. The other day, I talk about, love. Valentine is almost here, and we will be talking about Valentine's next week. So how do I become consistent on a certain subject that I have selected? Yeah. And definitely you talked about the fact that people do business with the people they know, the people they like, and definitely the people they trust. That is so powerful, and we would definitely have to look out for that. You gave us a number of fears that we actually face. That is very true. And personally, I would say that I do not actually have the time to post. And whenever I get to LinkedIn, I make sure I utilize that time. And I usually post maybe about lunchtime or early in the morning when I get to office. Mind you, I'm actually using the company time to do these posts. So we would like to understand from you, what is the best time for making a post? And regardless of any platform, you could possibly, if there must be a difference in timing in terms of which platform, when to post, you could actually give us an insight on that. What is the right time for making a post? And of course, the mistakes we have seen, just scrolling, random reading, being in Kamoli, this actually affects most of us. And as you're scrolling through, people's posts, yeah, sometimes you get interesting posts that you would like to comment on, but you're like, let me just continue reading what other people are posting. So these are the biggest mistakes that we would like to avoid. And the audience out there, please, as you engage on social media, please ensure that you try to avoid these mistakes. So maybe you could first attend to those, and as I get to the chat to see what people are actually saying.
Okay, thank you so much, Remigio. Those are interesting questions. And I think to start with the posting time, for me, how I find my best posting time is normally early morning, because I'm thinking that's the time people are rushing people are settled in office, maybe by 10. I love 10 because I know people are settled in office. So when I post at 10, I want to make sure that I post at 10, like on every time I post. So I schedule my posts 10, 10, 10, 10 every other day. If I forget, if I have no post, then I just make sure that I have a post for the day. Because why I choose that kind of posting structure is because our audiences pick what we give them. They will pick your time and they will look forward to that 10, 10, 10, 10. Just like how we do news on NTV or any other NBS, news at 9. So you look forward to the news at 9 all the time, every other day. So it's the same kind of formula that I use. So you can choose what works for you, but 10 or later in the evening when people are at home, between 7 to 9. Then maybe lunchtime, when people have time, when people are having their lunch, they will scroll a bit. Yeah. So maybe about consistency. With consistency and how to create those constant posts, how I do it is I will plan out my content in topics. I'm like, what are my major topics? What can I talk about what are my audience's main pain points that I can talk about? So I write them down. I choose like 5 of them. Those I call major topics. So these major topics, maybe I'll say sales, social media sales. So I'm like, I break it down to selling on social media. Then I know analytics. Then I know people do not know how to check their analytics. Then I'll break it down, the analytics, into how do you check, where. So you see, I have a lot of content just from one analytics. I have only analytics as my main point, social media analytics. But then I'll talk about how do I check my analytics, mistakes you might be making. I can decide to talk about that for the whole month. So you choose your major topics and then break them down into smaller topics. The how-to, mistakes people are making, frequently asked questions. You see, you have one topic, but you have so many posts. Then I also normally do steps. I will have maybe 10 steps to do ABCD. Then those steps I can share like for the whole week. I share step 1 on Monday. Step 2, you have content. That's already enough content. The most important thing is calling people to action and making sure that they are engaging and interacting. Then I'll do challenges. I'll be like, our 10-day challenge. That's enough content to take me for 10 days, I know. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like that, depending on how I know on Monday what I'm going to post. Tuesday, I'll talk about this. Wednesday, yeah, you see. When you plan it out and structure it in form of topics, and then you know that maybe in these topics, I need to give a value post. If it's my business, or if it's just I need to promote what I do, or I need to talk about what I do. Normally we talk, if you're doing business, then you talk about, you either promote your business or you sell to your audience. You have a value post. In analytics, everything is rotating around analytics, social media analytics. That helps keep you consistent, and it helps keep your audience following, because they'll be like, oh, I missed step 1. Let me go back to step 1 and see what she talked about. Yeah, you see, your audience is following, and you're not burning out with what to talk about, you know? So how do you identify your ideal audience? For example, you may look at, you know who you want to attract, who gives you joy, who do you want to help online? You start from there. What problems do you want to solve online, and for who? So you may choose that basing on that. Then you will know that, oh, every time you see a coach, every time I see a coach, I'm like, that's my client. Every time I see maybe a consultant, I'm like, I got this one. I either follow them, I either keep an eye, and then somehow the relationships builds. So I hope I answered your questions.
Yeah, thank you very much, Justin. Yes, you have indeed answered most of the questions, and thank you for that, Justice. However, I just want to have one more. When you talk about social media analytics, I want you to help us break down that, because when I get to my page, I see post impressions, I see profile viewers, search appearances, followers. What exactly do you mean by social media analytics? And how do we actually benefit from it, or how do we grow it?
Analytics are what really help us. We are on social media, but analytics help us understand what we are doing on social media, and it helps us find better decisions, make better decisions for our social media. So normally, if you have like a business account or a creator account, they'll show you those things. They'll show you how many people you've reached, which kind of posts have done better. Then from there, for you, you're like, okay, this post was shared by 3 people. Why did they share? Maybe you start giving yourselves questions and then finding answers. And somehow you're like, okay, I will repost this next time, maybe with a better image. So you find that they'll show you your reach. They'll show you how many people have engaged. They'll show you who has viewed, who has, how many views they are. Such things that help you understand your social media, so that you're not moving on social media in Uganda, we say for, you're not just doing it for, but you're intentionally doing it. You're like, okay, I posted 10 posts. In this 10 posts, which was the best post? Oh, this one. Why did people like this post? Yeah, so you follow that pattern. I'll give an example of Moses. There's a guy called Moses. I've forgotten his other names on LinkedIn. Moses Morris, I think Moses Morris. He works with Jibo.
Mugerwa works with,
Yes.
yeah, I think he's the vice president at Jeep Waters.
Wow, yes. I think at the end of in December, he started posting videos. And somehow his videos, when I saw the first video, I was like, these are very interesting videos. I'm like, where did he get them? So you see now that he's incorporated more videos in his content, because I think he noticed that a part of his audience, most of the people of his audience like those kind of videos. Those funny videos about work, about so many things. So yeah. I don't know. I hope I've answered that one as well.
Yes, thank you very much, Justin. Okay, looking at the comments in the chat room, Joseph Adrico said, how do I create a LinkedIn profile account for myself? I think you answered that. And the biggest fear for Derek was not getting results. Then Mbonwa Derek says, I got a lot of content written down and some by head, but the greatest fear he has is people's judgment and comments. So probably, Derek, you don't need to fear. Just put out the content and you will definitely get the comments, and those comments will help you improve what you're talking about. They will help you improve your content. If there are positive comments, definitely you get energized. If there are negative comments, you get to improve. You get to learn where to improve. Then Peter says the biggest fear is not receiving feedback. And you definitely talked about how do we ensure that we get feedback, and that is through engagement. When you make a post, please do not just post and run away. Keep around, keep seeing who is commenting, respond if they have any inquiries. Say thank you those who are making comments on your post. Yeah, that builds a bit of engagement. Then that was the same fear for Emmanuel. Then I have okay, so Joseph says it's so encouraging, only that making practices counts a lot. Yeah, you have to practice, that's true. Then Derek again says, how can one really use a smartphone and media platforms proficiently and effectively and productively? Yeah, I hope you get that. How can one really use a smartphone and media platforms proficiently, effectively, and productively? Then, okay, moving down. Oh. Okay, so Derek says, how do I monetize my social media? I am a founder of EcoSport Initiative, which uses football to educate students about climate action. I'm constantly on LinkedIn searching for people who can support my initiative. How do I go about that? Yeah, so you talked about monetization, and maybe you will just highlight a bit more. Then some insight on how social media platforms pay back, especially YouTube, TikTok, and X, and some light on pay formats or pay card numbers they usually display. I think Derek wants to understand, how do they actually get paid? After monetizing their social media platform, how do they actually get paid? And we are sure you have received some payments, especially on your content. So we would like to understand, how do you actually receive those payments and things of the sort. Then Emmanuel says, how do I get a professional badge on LinkedIn? Yeah, you kindly note that. Solomon says, thank you, Justin, for the great nuts shared. Very, very educative, and if followed transforming. I have surely seen the impact of everything you have shared. And he says that is amazing. Please keep up the spirit. Patricia says, thanks, Justin, for the presentation. How would you communicate a brand story on LinkedIn? Okay. Okay, so far those are the comments that have come in and the questions. And if you could be kind enough, to respond to some of these questions. You're welcome, Justin.
Thank you, Remigio. Yes, so I will start with how do I monetize social media, or how social media platforms pay back. In the beginning, I thought I wanted to grow my numbers quickly and then get paid by those social media platforms. But I noticed that that was it was overwhelming and not bringing in the results that I wanted. I'm a community builder. I wanted to build a community and feel like connect with people. So to monetize, you need to be very clear with your message, and you need to tell people that you're selling. People will not know you're selling if you never tell them that you are selling. Create a plan. That is why I mentioned that if you're creating content, you need, as much as you create value posts, you need to also tell some stories of how you started. But then, most importantly, you need to promote and sell. Otherwise, you will not sell. People will view your content and they will just move on. They'll be like, oh, thank you. Oh, yes, that is nice. You need to be intentional. If you are selling, then come out and tell people to buy this product, that I have. There's A, B, C, D. I mean, go through steps. A, go to my website. From my website, click on that link there. There is a page that does it really very well. Furaha is a financial services page. You can look it out. You will see it on LinkedIn, I think even on Instagram. They do it very well. So if you are selling, tell people you're selling. There are so many different avenues of how you can, after you've created your content, how you can move people from just followers to buyers, because that's where the magic is. People have to move from following you to actually buying. You need to have something to sell. If you have nothing to sell, if you have nothing you've created that you want people to buy, then they'll not buy because there's nothing. So there needs to be something for them to buy. Be very clear. If you want them to buy, say, today, oh, if you didn't know that I do A, B, C, D, this is what I do, and this is my number. To make a purchase, click this number. I mean, not click the number. Click this link or follow this pattern or join this webinar so that after the webinar, you sell to them. So that depending, or create events. There are so many ways that you can sell, especially in Uganda. I'm talking about Uganda because our markets are different. In the outside world, you find that there are people are being paid for using TikTok, but in Uganda, you need to create your own avenues. With the audience that you have, even with 500 followers, you can make a sale for as long as you have what to sell. If you have nothing to sell, then people have nothing to buy. Yes, so I hope I answered those two. Then how do I get paid? That one. I get a professional badge. A professional badge, since I also don't have one, I don't know, but I think you pay for it on most social media platforms. Lately, you pay for it. But on LinkedIn, I think you don't pay for it. You have to have a certain number of followers and meet certain criteria for you to have that badge. I'm not very sure on what criteria they follow because I don't have it for now. How would you communicate a brand story on LinkedIn? you create content. You systematically create content. You know that these are the topics that I'll plan to talk about. You tell your story. You tell your story of how you started, when you started, where you started. People love to hear those stories. There are certain emotions that we build when we share those stories. And people never forget, because remember, everyone behind typing a comment or leaving that like is a person, is a real person. So people never forget those emotions. Yeah, you be very clear and then you sell. Don't say that you don't have to be salesy or you don't have to sell. You need to sell. You tell people that you are selling and they will buy. You tell people where you want them to go and they will go there. Click this link I add you to my email list. Do this and people follow instructions. They will not think about it if you don't tell them. Yes, so I think that's it, Remigio.
Okay, thank you very much. There is a question that came in from Silas. How can one track conversation from social media to the actual client? Yes, Justin. Silas is asking, how can one track conversation from social media to the actual client? In other words, how can they actually transform or get from, mere engagements and they actually get real clients from the engagements they have on social media?
So with this one, I think I'll share like 2 strategies. There are quite a number of strategies that you can use depending on what if you are service-based business, if you have a service-based business and maybe you want to get speaking gigs, yeah. So you may choose to share your behind the scenes. That's a different type of content. It's content that makes people see that, oh, she actually speaks. I didn't know she speaks. So those people who normally comment after in that post, you go ahead and reach out to them and you're like, oh, hello, I noticed that you comment. Thank you so much for commenting on my posts. I appreciate. And notice that you commented on this particular post about ABCD. Are you looking for us? And actually, at that point, you will have first gone through their profile and you've seen a few things that you can engage this person. And just like normal sales, you build rapport. From building rapport, you prospect, then you build, I don't know which, I've forgotten which comes first, but rapport, you prospect, and then you nurture your leads. You nurture those people. Nurturing is the content, the asking questions that lead you. You remember the question that you talked about when I said, what struggles are you facing on social media, something like that. So normally people who comment on those posts, I reach out, because I know by the time they've commented, they could be going through something that I can solve for them. So I reach out to them. So those are actually leads. I reach out to them. Then when I reach out, I send a message. Or another option can be you create something like this, a webinar, set up a webinar, share your knowledge with that audience. Don't be afraid to set that date. Find a good date, find a good topic, then create a good template and then share with your audience. And then promote that for, say, 2-3 weeks. Get an audience, speak to them for free, just like you're nurturing them. Remember, you've already collected their email addresses. So you speak to them for free. And then at the end of the webinar, call to action. Talk about your product, your service, and why you're there. That's another option. And then follow up with emails, follow up with messages, create events. On LinkedIn, I see events are very powerful as well. That's another option. You set up, and then first set the date. That's the most important thing. You set the date, and then you find good templates, and then come up with a launch plan of what you're going to talk about in that period before the event. Even if you get like 5 people or 3 people, that's a plus for you. That's a good start. Start there. The next one, then teach those ones as if you are teaching a room full of 100 people. And they'll be the ones to tell others about digital products. I have some digital products that I created on Seller. There's a platform by Nigerians, Seller. You go ahead and set up your digital products. Digital products, you don't have to complicate it. Create something in PDF or wherever, or talk or a video, and then maybe a Zoom video that you want to teach something, and then promote that. Sell it for money that is worth it, and then you get people buying it. Promote that over and over. Every post that you create, you tell them, click this link to buy this product. No, like that. So people will follow the flow like that.
All right, thank you very much, Justin. And I just want to give you a practical business here. I have GoPhones. GoPhones is a business of phones, and Regional Phones. It's found at Ruumu Street, opposite Kampala Boulevard. And that is on the building of Rio Insurance. And I would like you to advise them if they are to grow their sales using social media. Now we are moving from service to real products. Which social media platform can they actually utilize to grow their sales, to grow their business? And how or what strategies can they actually put in place to ensure that they grow they have more sales of their products, of their phones and computers? You're on mute.
GoPhones has a location. So you find that their location matters a lot. They always need to talk about find us at, that is one. So to grow their sales, the best platforms would be YouTube. I see so many adverts that pop up, like you're watching something very serious and maybe you're listening to this nice preaching, and then an advert pops up. Anyway, yes, so YouTube ads are very powerful. Google ads would be very powerful because people are searching. People are moving by, and when they are moving, your ad pops up. Or Facebook ads. Facebook is a bit, decision making is a bit, but people buy. So I would advise that client to actually go for ads, do ads instead of just normal engaging or that kind of business. But they may need to do ads and they may need to engage more, maybe some influencers, they visit the shop and then they promote the shop, they already have the audience and they just want that traffic. Yeah. So that would.
Yes, sir. Justin, we lost you. Hello? Yes, Justin, we lost you.
I think Justine has a problem, but I want to just say that great discussions that are happening here, and thanks everyone that has joined in. There's one of the things that I think Justine has shared, especially around content creation, is that you need to understand whom you're writing to. I know that there are some people that follow me here on LinkedIn. There are quite a number of kind of posts that I make, but you realize that I'm a bit intentional on to what kind of content I share. If you followed me for some time, I'm just trying to even share my screen, is I share content that one, of course, these days I've started sharing content around TPC, but you could see that most of my content is either around personal finance, either around career or personal development. And I think that is the reason why I'm able to attract. And you could see some of my posts. And some of the people that I also connect with. So this was one of my posts that I made this week, about 2 days ago. So one of the things that I've been able to appreciate with social media, one, you need to understand who you're writing to. So for me, I write to professionals, people that are employed, people that are in business, that are looking forward to growth. And that's the kind of content I'm writing about. Either it's your aspiring aspects of career, or aspects of to grow your business, or you want to grow your personal finance. So that's the kind of content that I really usually try to share continuously. So that has helped me, and I think that's the reason why some of you are part of this conversation, because you follow this content. You know that whenever I've posted, when you read a post, you will feel like I'm speaking to you because you're part of my audience. When I was starting out, I used to share quite a number of things like Justine shared, but I later pivoted down to understand what kind of brand do I want to create. And when you even look at this in my profile, when you get down to my profile, you'll clearly see some of my interests. So my content also resonates around the same. So you find me posting around career or posting around finance, and that is what I post. And that's how I've been able to grow this audience to now over 80 followers. And one of the things that some people think about followership is they think that people are going to come and follow them. Sometimes it is you to reach out and follow the people that you want to be able to. I'll not tell you that all these people reached out. Most of you here, even if it's Justine, are people that I followed, I connected with. So sometimes you're intentional. Now, you know, some of you are focused on connecting with high-profile people and forget about that. You need to connect with your customers well. There are many of you here, either maybe just fresh graduates that have seen my connection request and you're wondering, why is this guy connecting with me? You're figuring out, but you're my audience. When I make posts, when I hold such kind of webinars, I hold them because I want to make sure that my audience is fed with the kind of content. So I just wanted to jump in when Justine just went off, to just keep you engaged. But like I mentioned in one of my posts, that social media changed my life. I think Justine invited me in around 2020 to share with her community. So you can see the consistency that we've moved, that even up to now, I'm still posting, I'm still showing up. And for you who are busy professionals, I'll tell you that I have one of the most busiest jobs in the world. But you see me posting every day. And how do I do that? I create time, I prioritize. Sometimes I have to sleep at 1 because I have to make sure that you, my audience, are fed with content. That is how you need to be intentional on social media. Sometimes I need to just get off and comment on those posts of different people, because when you support others, other people also support you in the reverse. Even the algorithm. Do not just come here and post and wait for likes to come through. Just same way you are waiting for the likes on your posts, even other people are also waiting for the likes on their posts. So the cycle just remains, and everyone remains without likes. So make sure that when you post, engage with people, and start low. You do not need to start from 38 followers. You can start from just, I do not have these followers on different other platforms. When you go to my Instagram, I have about maybe 300 followers, but I keep showing up. Every day I'm posting because I have some people that follow the content. So you need to, and you also need to understand also how different platforms work. I know that Justine is really good at Instagram, and she's now jumped onto LinkedIn, and you can see a lot of traction that is coming up. So you'll find yourself that you may not do well less on LinkedIn, but your content could work well on YouTube, or it could work on different platforms. So I just wanted to enter in, Justine, to well your way. So sorry about that happened. Over to you, Remigio and you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Coach Sam. Yeah, I wanted also to bring in a little bit of numbers here. The report I first read in the beginning, it actually highlights the different platforms on how many people are actually on that platform. And a quick highlight shows that Facebook is the most used with 3 billion users monthly. And these are not just users, active users. That is 3 billion. YouTube has about 2.5 billion. WhatsApp has about 2 billion active users. Then Instagram also has about 2 billion, while TikTok has about 1.7. So you can see the top 5. If you're looking for a platform where to advertise your business, advertise your services, or actually engage, these are some of the platforms that you would like to look out for. But what I wanted to ask Justine is, if I have a strategy that I'm using on LinkedIn, can I actually use the same strategy on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram? Or do actually these platforms, serve different purposes? That's my question, Justin.
Thank you, Coach Samuel, and thank you, Remigio, for that wonderful question. And for the statistics, I've been trying to look. Normally, the statistics I find don't share TikTok, probably for reasons I don't know, but TikTok is a powerful platform. Yeah. Kindly, I beg your pardon on the question. Sorry, my mind went.
Yeah, I wanted to understand, basing on the numbers I've read, I want to engage on these different platforms. Can I use one strategy across the platforms? Or I'm supposed to use different strategies? And secondly, do actually these platforms serve the same purpose? Thank you.
Okay, so normally social media, it's not like a one size fits all, but there's like a science. There's one particular science about social media: attraction. And all these platforms will push your content, or they'll push your business or your profile if you are able to help them keep people on that platform. I don't know if you're getting what I'm trying to mean. There's like a science there. I would call it a science. Yes. So a strategy normally is like, I normally use like one strategy. I know one strategy, but different ideas. I will know I need to grow. I know I need a DM strategy. How do I DM people? What language am I going to use for TikTok? Instagram, I may use differently. LinkedIn, I need to be professional. So you find a different language, but it's a DM strategy. So you know you need an engagement strategy. An engagement strategy cuts across all platforms. If you don't engage, you have they'll not share your content to more people. So you need an engagement strategy, a growth strategy, a DM strategy, a sales strategy, a content strategy. So the rest are like additions. You go ahead adding on to those things. What does a content strategy on LinkedIn look like? What does a content strategy on TikTok? What would a content strategy on TikTok look like? So it's basically a science. How can I attract people using all these strategies? So there are major strategies, but each platform may work differently.
Okay, thank you very much, Justin. Yeah, so being on social media is not just, there is a little bit of investment that one has to put in, to get out that good followership, or for someone to get paid. Those who are creating videos on TikTok, I know they find time to go and they do the shooting. Yeah, look for people to actually do those videos, buy gadgets, you understand? So there is a little bit of investment that you actually have to put in. So what metrics can one track to actually confirm that there is a return on investment while using the social media?
It depends on what you're doing. If you're doing ads, then you look at the clicks, the clicks, and then the people who are reaching out, who you're actually selling to. If you want people to come to your WhatsApp, there should be proof that people have actually been coming and asking you questions and actually buying. And the product, you had 10 products, now you have 5. So that's a return on investment. If it's a product, if it's a digital product, or maybe a coaching program that you cannot, that is not tangible, that you can't touch, something like that, then there you need to know how many people have actually reached out. And maybe your plan was to sell to 5 people your digital product. Those 5 people should reach out and you should be able to see that money maybe on your seller. I love Seller because it puts everything for you in one place. If you're creating an event, it will show you the number of sales, the people who have actually bought the tickets. Seller is Nigerian, but it's very organized for businesses to use on social media. Yes, so you need to actually track the numbers. How many people have actually called you to actually maybe book an appointment? If you put there your link, if there is no one, then that means there are no conversions. That means the metric is not working. That means the strategy either you used is not working or something. Then you find a solution.
Okay, thank you very much. So Justin, we want to appreciate you so much for sharing your story with us. And all these years, I know you faced quite a number of challenges while, engaging on social media. And maybe you would like to be kind enough to share with us some of the challenges that you have faced along the journey and how you have actually overcome them. Thank you.
The challenges are you don't feel like creating anything. But if you have like a schedule, somehow the post goes there and you're like, okay, let it. Sometimes you may create something and people don't come through. So what do? You move on and you're like, okay, I used this strategy and it didn't work. So I move on to the next strategy. It happens. Yep.
Oh, Justin, we just lost you. No, we lost you. We lost you, Justin.
That's very normal. You move on to another product or negative comments. You'll find that there are people who will want to put you down, people who will want to say, yeah, so that's very normal, and you should be either open to feedback, or being open to feedback is very okay. You ask that person, oh yes, what happened to the product? How can I serve you better? Especially with physical products. It's a bit, you find that someone will come and they write negative comments, oh, that product doesn't work, or something like that. So you come out and actually approach that person and then maybe engage them and then see, then other people, especially on Facebook, there's that negative. Sometimes people love negative energy, but it is okay. Just move on to the next, move on to the next. That's one person, but there's so many other people waiting for your service or your product.
Okay, that's quite interesting, and would like to appreciate you so much for the knowledge that you have shared with us. And just to give a quick highlight on the takeaways that we need to understand, especially on the strategies, the 15-minute strategy that you talked about, commenting on 3 posts, at least 3 posts. Then the 3-post formula where you have to, highlight the lessons, the milestones, and the highlights of your life, for example, of the postings that you're making, the topics that you're talking about. Share your lessons, milestones, and give value. Then focusing on your audience, and you talk to us about how to, get an audience, create a niche. Then the 3-step social media for busy professionals. You talked about optimizing your profile. That is clearly showing what you're out there to do. Then posting the right content consistently, at least 3 to 5 posts. And then networking online intentionally. Then you definitely told us that consistency builds trust, and it's from trust that you'll be able to, get the sales, grow your profession, grow your career. And then you definitely talked about scheduling posts, and look out for content that is so relatable to the current situation, and the storytelling about your life, about what you're going through, and how actually other people can benefit. So I must say that we are very humbled to have you, and we have actually enjoyed each and every bit of your story that you have told us. This will definitely help us improve our social media engagement, and you will definitely see the results. Yeah. And maybe as we get to close, I just wanted to still reconfirm the purpose of tagging in someone when you're making the post. I find it a little bit powerful these days. When you tag in someone, they actually, respond back. Then other people who are following them, you see them, they are sending requests. Could you highlight more about that?
Yes, that's powerful. It falls in the growth strategy. If you're looking to grow your audience, that should be one of the things you do, but don't randomly tag someone if the post is not related to them. If it's related to them, it's a plus for both of you. You're tapping into their audience and they're also tapping into your audience, your network. So it's a growth strategy that is powerful for all platforms.
Yeah, thank you. And like you told us that actual organizations are now looking out for profiles on LinkedIn. Yeah, a very good profile will definitely land you a job, especially if you have clearly identified where your strengths are, so that as the employer is searching, they actually know the person, the kind of person they are looking for. So I want to empower the audience, to always create that profile that is so appealing, especially when you have your good strengths. Make sure that you point them out so that whoever is actually searching, they can quickly look at your strengths and hire you if they are looking for someone to hire. Yeah, so I want to thank you, the audience, for engaging in this session. You've been a very good audience, both on Zoom and YouTube. And this information will remain available. The recording has been made, and you'll definitely find the same recording on a YouTube channel for Coach Samuel Ibanda, and you should be able to follow through. In case you want to share it with your colleagues, or if you have missed a bit of it, please, you can go back and listen in. Thank you very much, Justine. Thank you for your story. We are so pleased, and we will definitely have to have, maybe next time we will definitely bring you back and share more insights with us. And Coach, thank you very much for putting up this webinar. We've really enjoyed the time with Justin here, and the audience has been so engaging. And I've been your host, Remigio Kanyesji, and I basically do banking. That's my profession. And lately, I'm also getting into the public speaking, emceeing on different functions, birthdays, introductions, yeah, weddings. So that's what I've been doing, and anything to do with the corporate world, strategy formulation and all that, can check out my profile on LinkedIn. And yeah, I'll be happy to connect. So back to you, Coach Samuel, for your parting shots. And maybe before you come in, Samuel, we want to hear the parting shots from Justin, and then you conclude. Thank you.
Okay, so maybe I was just typing out something to conclude. Mine is don't post and run away. It's the only way you build connections and a real community of trust. It's the only way you build trust online. And maybe what I wanted us to do is just to take a screenshot, because user-generated content is the in thing now. Just maybe a screenshot, or if you're using your laptop, just a picture of the laptop with this, and then either share on your WhatsApp, or you will create a post later and then tag Coach Samuel and Remigio. Yeah, so just to encourage you to do that. It's real-time content, and yet other people really like it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Justin. Yes, Coach Sam.
Justine, the reason why I put up my hand, I want you to tell the audience about how they can reach you and what you can help them on their social media journey. I believe it's an opportunity for people to connect and also to be able to come, because you've told us about selling. So we want you to sell to us now.
Yes, actually, I've been hinting about coaching program that I have. I have a 6 months coaching program, 8 months coaching program, strategy building program. We sit down and then come up with a strategy that we follow along for that period. I can't say it's one day because, I mean, it's a process. Yeah, so I do a coaching program and I have several digital products on my seller. Yes, and that's it for now.
All right, so thank you so much, Justine. So Justine can be found on LinkedIn. She uses Justine the Strategist, as you can see on my screen. And she has her number in the bio there. So you reach out to her, and I really, she's one of those people that I'd recommend for your journey. And one of the things that I've also come to realize with social media is that there are people who are strategists in a way that even if somebody has 100 followers, they can make sense or they can be able to benefit from their following than somebody who has over maybe 10,000 followers. And by the way, there are people who have what they call quality followers. So I know that there are many people who come to you and say, I'm selling to you followers. Can you buy 1,000 followers or 2,000 followers? There's something about just having over 100 people who follow your content. Just like WhatsApp groups, we have the TPC, the Transformation Professionals Club WhatsApp group. I'll tell you that over 400 people are on that WhatsApp group, but they check out the posts that I make on the WhatsApp group. But yet there are many WhatsApp groups, even myself, that I do not check. So that is one of the things that I've seen Justine really do. I've followed her. I've told you that from 2020, not even 2020, I followed her earlier on, but 2020, she invited me to speak to her community, to share. And she's been helping people around growing online. So I really encourage you to reach out to her and see some of her products. One of the things that also I've been able to learn about social media is sometimes how to figure it out. You do observation of how other people do it. So when I come and see Justine's page and I see her featured section, I'm like, oh, how do you do the featured section? And I run to Google or run to somewhere, and that information is there. Even you go to and say, how can I create a featured section on LinkedIn? You'll find it. And where you need support, you reach out. You get to DM and like, Justine, I'm here. Can you help me? Do you have any programs? Do you have what? And one of the things that also happens is there's a lot of free content that people are creating that even you can start from before even you reach out to them. Because you'll find she's been speaking about her seller. You can see when you click on her seller. And this is now teaching us even how to make the money. Because at the end of the day, somebody is able to just run to the seller account and purchase. So you can see, this is the seller account she's been talking about. So somebody goes to your profile, they look at whatever you're doing, and the next thing, they are running to your profile. Now, this is even a free product. So you can see, this is her lead magnet. Those are some of the terms that you'll interface with on this journey of social media. So this is a lead magnet to get you into her community. So that is how it works. Now you buy the free product, you'll enjoy it. She'll even check out some of her other products. You can see she has a 90-minute online kachai. She has effective content strategies. She has, and that is how you're leveraging it. So you just get to, let's say, effective content ideas, click on it, and you get yourself here. You say, I need this. You put in your details, you put in your credit card, she gets a notification. But that's not just happening out of luck. She has created a system. When you are on Facebook or on your LinkedIn, there are also tools that you're going to leverage on your journey to be able to earn out of social media. And you do not need a number of followers, a lot of followers. Some of you are like, I just have a few of them, I can't start. Okay, Justine is here. She's started and she's doing well. She's sharing her journey with us. Every day she posts. When you try to look at her posts, she shows up. She shares content. And for you have very good ideas and you're sitting on them. I know some of you are in your professionals and you're like, I'm a chemist. What can I share about? Find something. It could be about a passion out of your chemistry. It could be something about your work experience. What else can you do? Because we are in this era and age where we can no longer depend on just a job. What can you do with your social media presence? You just coming online and scrolling through every day, and you're not getting anything. When people are posting, you see, she posts simple posts, sharing pictures, sharing experiences, connecting with people. And right there, supporting other creators. So you need to follow Justine and make sure that you're learning from her. Please also follow different people. Our just moderator also has become serious about his platform. Actually, it's the reason why I even called him to be a moderator. He's been sharing great content also around career, around personal finance, showing up. Remigium, when did you start to be serious about your social media? LinkedIn specifically.
I should say that was late last year.
Yes, late last year. Exactly. I saw Remigio starting. But you can see now he's showing up boldly, taking those pictures. Do you know what it means to have over 41 people come to just get interested? I know he has other kind of statistics, but I want to tell you that the world is watching. The world is watching. I have my friend here. I don't know if he's still on call. Solomon. I think maybe he has gotten off call. But you just start from somewhere. Show up, confidence. You can see he was sharing that's workplace skills. Connect with people. See what they are doing. What has helped me about content is I see what other people are doing and I learn from them. And sometimes people want to connect with you on a personal level. And that is why there's some vulnerability even in the journey. I've seen Justine's family, Justine sharing with us some of the pictures of her family. Wonderful to know that just behind Justine is a human. So sharing experiences works well. You can see Remigio here was sharing with us her beautiful daughters. What a moment. Some of you be like, I can't do that. I can't do that. Yeah, you may choose. Not everyone is really wants to share their life outside. And I will tell you, we do not share everything outside. We share what we think we need to share. But once in a while, we get vulnerable because we want to connect with you. Right now, we have over 400 people that have joined the TPC WhatsApp platform. You did not just join that platform because you just saw a link somewhere. It's because the creator of that platform, you connected with them. You saw their story. You listened to them and you saw that their story connects better with you. That is what happens. May not be sharing your family pictures, but let us know that you also have bad days. Let us also know that you have good days. Share with us stories that will resonate with, that will feel like, oh, actually, this is something that I've also experienced. Sometimes on social media, we want to show up as winners, as victors every day, because we think that when we show the good things, the good houses, the ABCD, that is how the world will really clap for us. Sometimes you have to show the low moments. I've made posts about my low moments, how I nearly lost a job, how I failed an interview, how I did. People now connect with me and know that, oh, okay, there's life, there's a person, there's a human behind Samuel, what we see. It's not just an angel. I also go through situations. So in terms of content, whatever content you want to share, you can share content around what you want the world to know you about. This time, the world knows me as a coach, as a career mentor, as a personal finance person. I even have a session in Nigeria in the next about 2 hours. But all that has happened because I showed up. The opportunities you're looking for are online. And believe me, they are going to get you only when you're showing up. When you come to my profile here, I show whatever I'm doing. I try to share my story. People are able to see, oh, this is what Samuel is doing. People connect with you even before they meet you. I just met Justine about maybe a month or 2 back. And that's the first time we were meeting. And I'm like, oh, okay. This is one of the posts that I made. This is the time when I got my children. And here I was on NBS TV making a presentation. But how did I get on to this time? Somebody in my network checked out my LinkedIn. They get into my DM and they're like, can you be ABCD? Can you do ABCD? I've checked out your profile and I feel you have what it takes. And boom, I was on a program that paid me millions of money. I have gotten jobs. Somebody reaches out to me and says, Samuel, your profile is impressive. Can we schedule an interview? And boom, you're in an interview, you have a contract. We are in the era of social media and we are blessed to be living today, because I do not need to be in newspaper to be seen, to be heard. I create my mini TV where people look out for me. I create my mini newspaper where people look out for my content. That is what social media is going to give you. There is a lot that you're going to benefit when you start showing up. And I want to tell you that the beginnings will be low. You make a post and you get 1 like, you get 2 likes. One of the things I usually tell people that every time I post, you can see, every post I make sure I like my post. I'm usually the first person to like my post. Why? Because when somebody finds your post and doesn't even have a single like, they will sometimes be afraid to like it, to be the first to like the post. So like your post. In this, on LinkedIn, I've also seen what people do. After they have made the post, they run to the comment and even comment. So they are the first to comment on their posts. And what that is helping people, when you like your post, when the post has a like, it means somebody will feel like, okay, this is like what they like. So they will like it as well. If there's a comment or an engagement, they'll feel like they want to engage. And when people engage with your posts, the algorithm will now start supporting you, because it means that you are creating content that benefits other people. These social media platforms are actual companies that are making a lot of money in advertisement. So when they see you consistent creating content, they support you because you're now a partner to them. You keep people on the platform, so it helps them as well. So there's a lot that I can speak about social media, but I know Justine has broken it down, and every day we learn. The best way to learn is show up and see what other people are doing. Engage. There's a lot that happens in the comment sections. This is over 125 people in the comment section. And it means that that is the same visibility You look at the impression. Over 14,287 impressions. These are people that are seeing my post. And from here are people that are going to come through and be like, Samuel, can you facilitate this session? Samuel, can you speak to us? Right now, you can see I've made this post. This is a post that somebody from Nigeria invited me. You can see the sessions are going to run from 7th to 11th. And I'm the only Ugandan on this face. But I've never met these people in person. All they saw is social media, and they saw value. And they felt that this person is worth it. That is how the world works. You have to show up to attract. Instead of chasing every day, applying every day, start to attract such that people reach out to you. This week, I was speaking to another group, Youth Elevation Initiative. These people phoned me on TikTok, and they've said, someone would like you to speak to us. Do you know how I get these things? People find me. I show up. Do not just post once and end there. When somebody visits your profile, they want to see activity. But even the algorithm forgets about you if you're not showing up. You're not supposed to show up every day if you can't. At least post minimum twice a week. Or even if it's once a week, you're better than 1 million other people that are not posting anything throughout the whole year. Okay? So take your platforms very serious. Okay? Last time I usually share about this post. If you have read any of the TPC seminars, I say that my dream was to always work for NSSF. I did not get a chance to enter as an employee, but you see what happens. I'm here and Joan does sessions for NSSF, and Joan reaches out to me on LinkedIn and say, Samuel, can you do a BCD? I see you post about career and so on. Can we do a session? Can you speak to NSSF staff on ABCD? And boom, I get into the room. And you see what she posts and said, from Samuel's posts and YouTube videos, I can't thought he would fit our Imagine Me style. We're only 28 minutes into the session, and I'm glad I took the bet. How did she take a bet? If I hadn't posted on my posts, when I made a post there and said that you are a post away your next job, or you are a post away your next business, I meant it. Because I got into this room through social media. No one trusts you with a big client just out of the blue. I was meeting Joan on that event for the very first time. She had never met me in person. But she took a bet on me because she saw what I was posting online. When I don't sleep early and I make sure that I'm making that post, these things remind me that whatever you're doing today, somebody is watching silently. The opportunity is going to show up at a time when you least expect it. They say that if you want to buy an umbrella, you don't buy it on a rainy day. If you're looking for opportunities online, you do not look for them on that same day. You create these opportunities along the way. There are people that I've connected with. Justine here, we last connected 5 years back through Facebook. 5 years from now, from that time, she's now showing up here. She's coming to talk to us at TPC. I do not invite anyone to speak to the TPC community because I value the time of my community. But why did I invite Justine? Because I saw her value. I saw her seriousness. I saw how she shows up. The same thing with Remigio. I saw the content he shares. I started with Remigio, but I did not invite him because I started with him. I invited him because he has showed that he's confident, he's showing up online, he's very committed to his growth. That is how opportunities find you. You do not chase them anymore. you have to create a brand. You have to create your brand. People need to speak to you. I've had people reach out to my DM and say, Samuel, we're in a meeting and I recommended you for this opportunity. People that I've never met and I will never meet, maybe, but they trusted me. You see, the world, like Justine said, people buy from you because they like you and they trust you. How do you build trust? Is by showing up human. Do not go to artificial intelligence and you're creating fresh content every day from artificial intelligence. Once in a while, take a photo of you well somewhere and we see you. Once in a while, write about an experience that we shall read and we shall feel like it is you. It is not crafted up. You're building trust. When you show up every day, you're building trust. When somebody checks your profile and the last time you posted is about 4 months back, they'll think you no longer exist. They'll think maybe you're dead. They'll think otherwise. Trust is built when somebody says to you that you show up every day, you show up every week, you show up every month. That is trust. How people like you is the way still you show up. Support other people. Make sure that you are there for them. I can speak and speak, but I want to appreciate everyone who has joined through this session. I'm always glad to share such platforms with brilliant people like Justine and Remigio. Thank you for the great work that you have done. In case you're not a member of TPC, I encourage you to join us. We always show up here every Friday. For next week, we are not going to show up on Friday because it's Valentine's Day. We want you to enjoy their time with your loved ones. But what we are going to do, we are going to show up on Thursday. So I'm actually hosting Moses Morris Mogera, who will be coming to speak to us about how to escape the paycheck grind. Basically, we are in an era where many people have lost their jobs. Moses has lost his job before, and he shared a lot of content around his job loss. Right now, he's a vice president at Jebu, but he's also an MC, just like Remigio. He has made a lot of money from just doing the work he does through his side hustles. So I've discussed with him, and him and I will be doing a session around how to earn outside your salary. So make sure that you show up on Thursday and you bring a friend with yourself. Do not just be selfish about knowledge. Invite. When you see our posts, make sure you like them. If you're not in our WhatsApp group, the Transformation Professionals Club, our WhatsApp group, make sure that you join our WhatsApp group. We also have a paid community. There's a principal. If you want to become a principal member of the Transformation Professionals Club, where Remigio is a member, we have quite a number of different other members that are on this call. Let me see. We have Philip is a member, a paid up member. We have Patricia, we have Rita, we have quite a number of members here, Rosette, quite a number of them, Silas. These are committed people that are ready for their growth. Now, what happens is when we have these sessions, you sometimes end up with questions on your mind. Where do I start from? And that is where now your paid up membership comes in, because you're now able to access mentors, you access support, you are able to reach out their DMs. We're able to create for you that platform to have the figuring out, to help you figure out, to help you grow more than just how we show up here. But at the end of the day, our goal is to help, and that's why we have even made these sessions free, the Friday sessions, such that you can come and learn. So you do not have an excuse in this world to improving yourself, okay? So keep showing up. So make sure that you come through the session. We shall still be able to speak about how you can leverage on your time to be able to earn. So I just wanted to pass on to that message. Otherwise, thank you so much for showing up. And I want to hand over to Rebigio to close this session.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. Indeed, coaches are usually, the words are so many. So we appreciate your words of wisdom and encouragement. And I can only say that you're really a coach, and we always look up to you for this motivation. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for this time. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for being part of this session. Justin, you've really done a favor for us, and we really appreciate. And we pray that may God continue to bless you to do what you're doing and even do it better. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We will see you next time on Thursday when we have that session. I've been Remy as a host of this event. Thank you very much and good night, and God bless you all.
Thank you.